I'm back. It's good to be back. I've had a rough few weeks, and I thank you for your prayers, and I do desire your prayers. I still need them, but I'm glad to be back. I've missed you all, and I'm looking forward to teaching again, whether it be here at school or doing what we're doing now as far as distance learning. I'm starting with math today, and our math lessons is dealing with area for the week. And I'm going to start off this video with area of a rectangle. To find the area of a rectangle, your formula is area equals length times width. It's a lot like perimeter, but you don't have to times each thing by 2. You're just doing length times width. So I find it a little bit easier doing area than I do perimeter. We're going to look at the first problem here we have is a length of 6 and a width of 4. All you do to find the area of a rectangle is you say is A equals length times width, and now you just plug in the numbers. We have the length of 6 and a width of 4. So you say 6 times 4 equals 24. So the area equals 24. Okay. Square, so this would be 6 feet, let's say, and 4 feet. This would be 24 square feet. Okay. Also, when you don't have the square written for you, they give you the length and width. So, for example, this is problem 2A. You have a length of 7 and a width of 5. To find the area of this rectangle with a length of 7 and 5, you just say A equals length times width, 7 times 5, which this equals 35 square yards. And that's all you do for this. You just multiply the length and the width they give you, and you multiply it. Same deal if you have a decimal or a fraction, you just multiply the two together. Okay? And that's found on page 261. It's the first lesson you're doing this week. Okay? The next part is page 263, and it deals with an area of a square. Okay? The formula for an area of a square is either s squared or side times side. Okay? So for example, this one is this square is a side of 9.3. Alright, so to find the area of that, you just say 9.3 times 9.3. And you multiply it out. You know, start with this 3 here. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. You drop a 0. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 9 plus 2 will be 83. And you add these numbers up. 9, 14, 6, 8. Count the number of decimal spaces. 1, 2. So you move your decimal over 2 spaces. So 1, 2. And your answer is 86.49 square feet. So you just take the number they give you and multiply it times itself. Another example would be this fraction here. We have one that says 1 1/2 yards. So you multiply 1 1/2 times 1 1/2. So 1 1/2 times 1 1/2. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So that's 3 over 2 times 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3 over 2. So 2, not 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. 2 times 2 equals 4. And if you remember back from many months ago how to simplify this, you take the 4 into the 9. It goes 2 times. 1 is left over. You put that over 4. So this one would be 2 1/4 square yards. Okay? So if you see a number, or if you see something that has a little 2 above it, like on this is s over 2, that means side times side, or number times number, which we're getting ready to get into. But if you'll give me a minute, I'm going to erase the board, and we'll look at one or two other things before end the video here. So let me erase a couple of things here. Alright. Squares and square roots. This is found on page 265. So we're doing squares and square roots. Alright? A small 2 written to the right and above a number is an exponent. So if you have a number 2 and you have this 2 up above it, what that's saying is 2 times 2. Or if you have a number like 7 with a little 2 above it, what it's saying is 7 times 7. When you have an exponent, that means it's how many times you multiply the number by itself. Okay? So for example, you have 8 squared. It's read as 8 squared. That is equal to 8 times 8, which equals 64. Okay? Or we'll do one more. 6 squared is equals to 6 times 6, which equals 36. So when you see this little number up above it, just you're multiplying the number by itself. Then you have the opposite of squaring is square root. The square root symbol is like this. It's kind of like a dividing sign, but it's more of a V. Okay? So you may have seen something like this. Okay? This is saying, what is the square root of 49? Okay? What it means is, what number times itself gives you 49? What number squared gives you 49? 7 squared is 49. So the square root of 49 is 7. Okay? Or the square root of 64, 8. The square root of 4 is 2. It's what number times itself would give you the number. So square root of 4 is 2 squared. 64 square root is 8. Because you multiply 8 times 8, you get 64. Same thing with 49 with 7. You multiply 7 times itself to get 49. So the answer is 7. What number squared give you the number underneath the square root sign is what you're looking for. Okay. And the last thing I'm going over is area. It just need to know how much an acre is. It tells you under the class practice that an area is 43,560 square feet. Not area, I mean acre is 43,560 square feet. And what it's asking you is the numbers they give you on page 267 in class practice 1. Is it, if you find the area, is it more or greater than an acre? Okay, so let's look at number 1A. It says 206 feet in a square. Let me find a new marker here because this one decided to run out on me. You have 206 square feet on this one. So to find out if it's more than an acre, you have to find the area of the square. And if you remember right, to find the area of a square, you just multiply the number by itself, 206 times 206. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 0 plus 3 is 3. 6 times 2 is 12. Drop a 0. 0 times 6 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Then on the last one, you drop 2 zeros. You say 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 0 plus 1 is 1. And 2 times 2 is 4. And you add these numbers up. That's 6 that's 3, that's 4, that's 2, that's 4. So your answer is 42,436 square feet. And by comparing it to the acre, it is less than 43,560 square feet. So you bubble in no for number 1A. The rest of the work for the week are review pages. So just remember to review things. If you need help, go back in your book. A lot of this information will be found there. Again, if you have any questions, you can always contact me via My School Works. I'll be checking it periodically. So, have any questions, let me know. Thank you.